Okay, so 3, 2, 1. We are all talking
Gary
right now.
is
Blah,
a
blah, 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 blah.
weirdo.
He just loves to eat
I'm
peni.
talking
blah, blah,
so
blah,
that
blah,
Gary
blah,
can
blah,
record some
Fucking
bullshit.
Panasia.
Now that we have that, what the fuck are we even talking about? Welcome to the Unreasonably Angry podcast.
The officially named,
Officially.
yes, officially, as in Facebook official, Unreasonably Angry Podcast.
Yep.
As usual, I'm Eric,
I'm Gary.
and we have a special guest tonight, a friend from back home, a brother from another mother, our bearded bastard of a brother, Mr. Jeffrey Hicks.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
Here's that personality.
How's everything in sunny Southern California?
It's getting hot, so it fucking sucks.
Yeah, you're glad you're here for the
It
weekend.
rained for like almost a month, which is pretty unheard of for Southern California.
Yep.
But that was rad. But then it got like 87 degrees or some shit in February, and that can suck my dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly why the fuck I moved here.
You're right.
I'm okay with 87 in July, but fucking February, it's like, okay, we're winter. It's not even spring yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm going to be at a point in a few years where I'm not even going to be able to imagine a February that looks like that. Like,
Oh
I'll
no,
be
what
like,
will happen? What will happen now is when it's 70 degrees early in the year and you're like sweating and you're like, what the fuck? It's hot. And you're gonna remember when 70 degrees was like cool.
Yeah. So, like the other day when I got here and I went over to Fremont Brewing and I went outside and I started talking to this guy and he's like, "Man, it's really hot out today." And I was like, I looked at him. I was like,
It's 58.
Are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? Or it's like, it's below 60. What's wrong with you?"
Speaking of Fremont Brewing, tonight we have an unofficial sponsor. Our good friend Jeff here did pick up a crowler of Fremont's special edition. What's the name of this one?
Oh, this is the Sister Imperial IPA.
The Sister. So I'll be enjoying your sister twice tonight, Gary.
Hey.
Shit. That just happened. So, we were blessed enough, lucky enough, first worldy enough to make our way to Key Arena last night to check out the Game of Thrones live concert experience, as led by Ramin Djawadi?
Sure.
Djawadi?
Yeah.
Either way,
That's close enough.
fucking awesome.
It
So we
was
thought
rad.
we'd start out our normally very angry podcast with some high notes, and then we can get into stuff that irritates us. But
Well, we can talk about the actual show, but we can also complain about like the people and everything.
oh
that
no,
we-
of
we
course,
saw
I can't
there, so,
imagine any
yeah.
situation in which we share an experience that we had where we don't bitch about something.
Of course. And
First
then,
off,
yeah, okay.
them running
so
out
we'll
of
start with
goddamn fucking
Yeah.
dragon legs.
dragon legs.
Don't post on your Facebook that you're gonna
Yeah.
have giant turkey legs.
I don't think I've ever seen like a venue actually post a Facebook post about their food before you get there.
Yeah, and I understand limited supply, whatever, but fuck, come on, like that's you're tempting the fat boy inside of me that's actually bulging out a little bit outside of me as well. But you can't show me this delicious morsel of a treat, and then when I get there and I get to my seat, still 40 minutes before the show, and you're out of fucking dragon legs, and then I gotta go watch some skinny chick who I know is not gonna fucking finish the thing. That's fucked up. She's not putting hot nacho cheese on it. She's not putting hot sauce on it. She's just eating it. I'm like, there's so many things that I could do with something that large. That sounds bad.
That got pretty
I
questionable.
went into a dark place there for a second.
Plus, I'm pretty sure we walked around the entire arena looking for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went
to
to
like
6
three
different stands. Yeah. No, I'm not complaining. Like the food was still decent for arena food.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it could have been more expensive. It wasn't cheap by any means. I spent $5 on a fucking Sprite.
Except for the part of the guy exploding nacho cheese all over everything.
Yeah, okay, so I'm standing
Clarify that story.
I'm waiting for Jeff, who's still online getting his food, and I'm at the ketchup and the condiments section, like 10 feet away. And I look over, and right when I look over, there's like this, I don't know what coming, like,
Well, tell us,
food
Jeff.
debris
What
going
was it?
towards Jeff.
The guy, I order my food, like the burger and the soft pretzel with the nacho cheese and shit.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
And he walks away to go get it. He goes to gather my sustenance, and and I'm sitting there waiting, and I see him walking back, and he's got like everything in one hand, like the hamburger, the fries, the pretzel, and the
It's a rookie
cheese
mistake.
dip, all in one hand, and he's holding it by the side of this cardboard boat thing that you put the food in.
Let
And
me paint the picture here. It's one of the square ones with the two
Yes.
holes at the end for the cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get at the movie theater share
And it
popcorn with your
fucking
kids.
rips.
Of course.
So everything falls. Plus, he's walking fast. So everything falls. It hits the ground, and the nacho cheese sprays like all over the other person working at the register next to him, out onto people, including me, standing in front of the counter, and then all over like the register and the counter. It was disgusting.
That's one of those moments where you have to think, this does not happen all the time, and it happened to me.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
The other thing, and I'm sitting there, and he's like, "Oh man, sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. Just
It's
go
cool.
back.
Let's go fuck myself.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
good.
Just go back and
Oh,
get
no,
my
it's
food.
fine. Yeah,
I'd rather
it's fine.
just you go get my food so I can go leave and go sit down.
Did
than
he give you the
stand here.
look? Did he give you the, is this okay?
I don't think I connected eye contact with him.
Well, I imagine when he's shooting cheese on you, you're probably
Right.
like, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
No, yeah.
Hiding the anger, letting it boil under the surface. But did he give you the look like, do you want me to remake it? Do you want me to, do I need to?
I could tell
can you-
like they're
didn't
everything
seem
about being
salvageable.
behind that counter sucked. Like
Including the person.
there's like the massive crowd like pressing against the front of the fucking counter, and there's like 4 of these people back there trying to like wrangle nachos and pretzels and cheeseburgers. I felt bad. I was just like,
I'd
it's
feel
all right,
bad
man.
too.
It's all right.
I'd feel bad too if they hadn't run out of goddamn fucking dragon legs.
Right?
All my sympathy went out the window.
But then I'm sitting there and I'm watching this nacho cheese like dry on the counter because it's now no longer in the cup where it can stay warm. It's just on the counter, and it got this like weird pale white color, and it was gross.
So glad that I have a belly full of that.
Yeah, think about that. You were dipping your pretzel in that pale white nacho cheese. Pretty sure it was plastic
Not gonna lie, I'd still eat it again. It was fucking good.
by the bucket.
So, but the actual concert was awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. It honestly,
Yeah.
it exceeded even what I was hoping for. Like what I expected out of it. I mean, as much effort, time, details put into Game of Thrones. In your head, you're like, I hope they do that, but you're also a little nervous that I hope this isn't a cash grab. It's not just a tack on add-on thing to get people to come in and pay the money from the popularity of the show, and then it's kind of hokey. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, God, please don't let it be cheesy or stupid or silly.
I was cheesy.
You were cheesy, yes, yes, but it wasn't, and I actually also appreciated that it didn't take itself too seriously. I love that some of the performers were looking at the camera and making faces and doing little things, and to me that made it feel like you were there to have a good time. It wasn't, hey, this is super serious, but it also wasn't, hey, you bought an expensive ticket, but we're just glad you spent money. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So, well, to clarify, the actual composer of the music was there, and he conducted the orchestra, and he actually played a few instruments for a few songs, which was really cool because not all composers would play live like that.
I expected the piano. I didn't expect the guitar. Like that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. The the effects were really cool. They had these giant screens and a few little extras that made it really fun to watch. And I love the scene pairings they did with each. They did like some of them were just montages, but some of them were like specific events in the show, like some battles, like the Battle of the Bastards and some other things. And they timed the actual. You could tell it was the actual score that you heard in the show with the scenes, and it was like awesome to hear it live like that. Yeah, it's really
agreed.
Fun.
I mean, I can't speak for you guys, but for me, I think the highlight was the weirwood tree. Weirwood, however you say it.
The Stark theme is
amazing.
So beautiful.
But just the effect of having the violinist in the tree, and then the leaves that come out and they're red, and it's basically showing a season of the tree where it's going from nothing to the red leaves to the leaves falling. Like it was impactful. Like I felt it.
That was the entire beginning, like Stark story too. So they're obviously from the north, like the old gods, the heart tree is very important to them. And like at the end of that song and that everything's happening, the leaves are falling off of the tree, and then Ned Stark like loses his head at the end of that. Was pretty rad.
And if you are out there and going, well, spoilers, go fuck yourself. The show's been out for 7 seasons, and the book's been out for, 15, 20, so just stick your finger up your ass.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like the Ned Stark is kind of like Snape killed Dumbledore by now. Like it's...
Did he?
Who? No, I agree. There's certain things that by now you have to go, okay, I fucking know. Like, and if you don't know, that's your fault. Like...
And that time gap is getting shorter. Like Force Awakens, it was like 3 months, and everyone knew. Like,
yeah,
it was.
Gary, how do you feel about spoilers?
I don't like them. That's the thing.
That's putting it lightly.
Well, so
wait, hold on, really quickly before we jump into Gary's unreasonable anger about spoilers. Do we want to continue talking about Game of Thrones, or do we want to come back to that later?
Can come back to it. I'd really like to hear about Gary's.
Let's take a journey. Let's hop on the train and go. Let's go east, my friends.
God, okay.
Gary, spoilers.
Well, so here's the tough thing about spoilers is that, and what I've learned from myself is that it can be very hard to gauge how much someone else will care before you say something.
No, absolutely. This is not a disagreement laugh.
You're right.
And I think really what it should be is like, I'm not saying like have an agreement that you both sign, but I just like a courteous like, hey, would you care if I told you about something about this show? Like,
sure.
That's all it needs to be. Like, do you care? And if they say no, then sure, then tell them. If they say yes, then just stop, and that's it.
The thing is, are you catching the restraint that he's holding inside?
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, but what's the level of what makes a spoiler a spoiler?
But that's the thing is that if you were to just ask someone, it's subjective, really. Like because people care. People care more than others. So if you were to just ask someone if they care or not, then you don't. That's all I'm saying.
But there are things that are just objectively not spoilers for shows.
Okay,
that you have
this is what happened. This is what happened, which I'm sure that Jeff is referencing.
Let's get to the nitty gritty.
A friend of ours, we were in a Facebook, group chat, and a friend of ours posts a picture from the set of Game of Thrones season 7, and it shows a few characters in a place that they're not normally in.
Mind you, I didn't see said picture. Please don't spoil shit for me.
I'm not. See, this is what friends
I don't
do.
think it's a spoiler.
Well, all right.
Just judging off of his anger, I don't even want to know if it is. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not touching it.
It might be nothing. I don't even know.
But it's that's what you're saying. Like, your whole point is this.
It might be nothing, but it might be everything.
Exactly. So for me, I'd rather not have to figure out how mad I want to be about it.
Exactly.
By just not seeing. So I'm partially on your side on this.
Yeah.
It was the level of vitriol towards our friend that was amazing and made me happy, which is why I want to hear the story.
I get unreasonably angry sometimes.
You left the chat 4 times. Flipped out, left the chat. We invited you back. We're like, Gary, what happened? And you fuck, and left again.
If you could actually
full
type out,
teenage
you fuck, you would have. Like that's the thing was I missed most
I
of
should
this.
have just sent a voice
Yeah, right?
message.
So you had a picture of people in a place that they're not normally at.
Yeah. So a few characters were in like a.
Just
I don't have
You
to
don't
say
need to
more. That's all
describe
it
the
is. It's
spoiler
just a
if-
picture of the set,
Okay.
and clearly
it
not a.
could've- Well, I mean,
clearly
to be
not an
fair,
official one.
There could have been another set like right behind where the picture was taken from. That
Yeah,
was
but
a
they were
completely different set.
They were shooting. They were blocked. Like you could tell they were shooting.
Were you
the scene.
there?
No, but
You know,
But okay, but hold on. But in Gary's
that's
defense,
irrelevant.
but in Gary's defense, that's the thing. In Gary's defense, this friend has a tendency to think
not-
it's hilarious to
Yeah.
spoil shit. And it's not just to Gary. He knows who he is. He's listening and he's chuckling his stupid chuckle because he'll
I can hear
fucking
it
pop
now.
up on the chat on a Monday and be like, guys, this thing that happened in Walking Dead last night. And if you're not quick enough to go, no, I haven't fucking seen it, you're gonna hear it. He's going to tell you, and then when you tell him, he's going to send you a picture of him laughing or something along the lines of how funny it is to him that he spoiled it for you. Exactly. Now, if we had gone and seen Star Wars first and spoiled shit for him, he would have cried like a little girl about it. So I'm with you on part of it. I am. I do. I understand where you're coming from. I still find it hilarious when you get unreasonably angry, and spoilers are touchy for some and some others. But what we're talking about here, realistically, is show data. Ned dying is book one. It's season one.
Yeah.
So you didn't read the books, but you've only seen one season. That was, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Right.
The statute of limitations has passed. This isn't,
Yeah,
this isn't
there you go.
Tuesday morning for a Sunday night.
There you go. There's a statute of limitations on shows, and
Yeah.
it depends on like how popular
Statute.
it is. Your statute.
No.
it's not a statute.
It's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh yeah,
It's a statute of
no
limitations.
we can add that
of
to
limitations.
we can add that to our list of express. I can't say it wrong.
Supposedly,
Espresso.
there might be a statue of limitations.
Are we going there? Are we going there right fucking now?
No,
Are we going to get me
no.
mad right now?
No, we don't need to.
So back to Game of Thrones. So aside from the weirwood scene, weirwood, I don't know. Anybody can correct me. I used to say Hearthstone and it's Hearthstone. So I know that I have a tendency to do that.
I mean, they both work.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you're nuns. You're saying the same
It's like
word.
coyote and coyote.
Well, I'm not saying Hearthstone. Like that's still the
Hearthstone.
next conversation we're gonna fucking have. God damn it, I'm getting fucking mad now. Aside from the weirwood tree, aside from that, I really dug Daenerys' stuff a lot. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's weird depending on the crowd, depending on the group, whether it's the book group or the TV show group. People have very different feelings about different characters.
Yeah.
The book crowd, not everybody loves Dany's chapters. Granted, in the show, she's a woman. Like in the book, she's a girl. She's
Yeah.
a teenage girl.
Yeah, she's like 14. In the,
So it's
in the
almost
books.
like it's not that she's not doing these things. It's that it almost feels different. And I think the stuff that she's gone through as a woman on the show, even though it's hard to watch, people are able to follow more
Yeah.
and then grow. You're watching her grow because at the beginning she looked like a 19-year-old, 17, 18, 19-year-old, whereas in the book she's 13. So it's a little different. Also, the pacing's a lot faster on the show. Things are happening quicker for her.
So I've been rewatching Game of Thrones recently, and so I'm in season 4 now, but like the first 3 seasons with Daenerys it's really just like a series of quick events. Like that's what her storyline is to me. Of like, we're gonna quickly grow her up and mature her so that she can be a bigger part of the show, but it misses out. Like you miss out on all of the kind of smaller things that happen like in the books, and also like her interaction with even the people that are with her feel, I don't know, they feel like they don't mean as much as some of the other characters,
important.
and less important.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, the cool thing about the parts with Danny at the concert was that the Dothraki themes are
Intense.
really intense. They have a lot of
Drums.
percussion and really interesting like international instruments, like all these really interesting like didgeridoos and like that's the only one I know the name of.
Yeah, dude, he was playing some wacky shit, man.
Yeah, there was one guy who played all these crazy instruments that were like from all around the world, and it It was really interesting.
What was it? The didgeridoo with like the 14-foot fucking
Dude, the 14-foot
elephant
wildling
trunk
horn.
thing.
So
was
that,
insane.
it looked pretty obvious that was made specifically for that show, or like for that
type of
tone,
yeah.
right?
It seemed like it was. One
It sounded
pitch.
just like a big giant bass speaker. He was holding the mouthpiece of it, and it like went all the way off the stage.
Yeah.
And that was like that was during one of the Wildling themes, and it was like a really, really super low horn tone. So
That guy rocked it. That guy was
Yeah.
definitely one of my favorite parts of the whole thing.
That was cool.
yeah,
But what I was saying before is I noticed when we were in the crowd, where you may see online people that aren't as huge on Dany, or in the book crowd they may not be as huge on Dany, or Sansa, because Sansa's chapters are definitely not people's favorites. A lot
Yeah.
of people think they're really boring. You heard the applause when she showed up for the Battle of the Bastards. Like she's grown a following on the show more so than I think she did in the books. A lot of which because people are watching her go through these things. I'm not going to get too deep into book versus show, but there's obviously things that she's going through on the show that weren't her storyline in the books. The stuff that's going on with Ramsay, that wasn't her storyline in the books. So people have a grown sense of sympathy for her and empathy for her. But it was really cool to see people react to her and Dany in the show during the concert that you don't really see elsewhere. But when people talk about their favorite characters, it's Jon Snow, or it's this person, it's that person. People love Sir Davos. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But to see the reaction that the girls were getting was really, really cool too. And I really liked the impact of Dany's. Like her music is intense. Like it's very because she has a little bit of the Targaryen themes to it, the dragons, the Dothraki themes. Like she's got, and when you're sitting there watching it, like pieced together that way, you realize how many people she's about to go whoop some ass with. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, holy shit, she's got some intense. But I mean, if you just had the Dothraki and the Unsullied, like those two alone, you're like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
that's
but
not an
now
army I
we-
want to mess with.
But now we have the Theons and
Greyjoys?
the Greyjoys and the the Theons, the Greyjoys.
Well, I mean, there was Thens.
The Thens, yes.
So I haven't read the books. You both have. I've just been watching the show.
Did I just spoil something for Gary?
No. No, I was just gonna go back to Sansa for a second
Yeah.
because I don't have this perspective of her character in the books, but I can say that for about the first 4 seasons, I absolutely hated her character.
Oh yeah, she's awful.
Because she yeah.
Well,
she
she's not
didn't-
awful. She's just stupid.
She's stupid and she's like
Super
really
naive and,
passive and just doesn't like do anything the whole time. And I understand she's under little bastard king. What's his name? Joffrey. She's under Joffrey's thumb for a long time, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
Like she can't do much. But then, like that just keeps happening, and I have no reason to like her.
My problem with her for a lot of the first seasons was like every single person would betray her trust, and like the next person she would meet, she'd be like, "Oh, I trust you fully."
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
This is my only take on it. I'm not going to defend Sansa. Like she's not like my favorite character by any stretch.
Well, I was gonna say I like her now, like,
and that's the thing is,
I like how much
when
she's grown.
When
in
I
the
go
last
back and
2
watch
seasons.
now, though, I don't look at it from my point of view. I really try like we have a friend who really fucking hates Jaime Lannister, like hates him, like can't find any.
Yeah.
He can't find any redeeming qualities, and he's actually one of my favorite characters by
Yeah,
far.
I love Jaime.
I fucking love Jaime Lannister.
Yeah.
And he's fucking, he can't make up for this. And he doesn't do this. Everything's evil. I'm like, no, man. Like you have to look at it from this point of view. And without getting too deep into that whole conversation, when I look at Sansa, okay, let's look at Winterfell. Let's look at everybody else there is this rough and tumble, strong, hunting, wild, no problems with the cold. Arya's a tomboy. She had the princesses in her head. She's that girl you meet who, while some little girls are out playing baseball or softball or sometimes wear pink, she's the Disney princess girl.
Yeah.
She's the girl who just everything is Disney, everything's princesses, everything in her room is pink. And so she doesn't have the cynical view and the realistic view that everybody else in her family does. So her only thought is nobody here understands me. The South there's got this extravagance, this beauty, this style and hairstyles. So I think what happens is as a child, You don't want to believe the negatives. All you want to think about is all the positives and the possibilities that are there. So she convinces herself that what I want to go do is be a princess and marry a prince and be a queen, and it's so glamorous. Of course, everybody else around her sees the bullshit and they see past that, but for her, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to listen to her family because she doesn't want to be like her family. Yeah. And little by little, as her character's grown, what we've watched is her develop into a Stark. And that thing is that from the beginning, she didn't want to be a Stark.
Right.
And she realized the best thing she could be was a Tully Stark, because reaching out and grabbing onto what made her mom so special as a Tully, that strong, fiery woman, that passionate person that managed to wrangle Ned and make him even stronger as a man, because everybody knows that Catelyn was a big part of his strength.
Yeah.
So for her to get to that point and go, you know what, all these things that I thought I wanted, I no longer want. That's what that scene where she's coming down in that black dress or black outfit in the show was like a turning point.
Yeah.
And you're watching her now as like this leader of this army. When you go back to the first season, you're like, holy shit, there's no way that character's going to develop that way. So when you really sit and think about it, you're like, holy shit, of all the characters, she's really done almost as much of a transformation, if not more, than anybody else, because she's gone from polar opposite to polar opposite, and not by these great things, by horrible events that have happened to her.
Yeah.
And so for me, while I can see where people get kind of bored with her story or get annoyed or frustrated because she keeps making the same mistake over and over again, for me, when I look at it as a whole now, I go, well, shit, like I actually really find it interesting. Arya's always been tough. John's always been tough and kind of down and out. And Jaime's always been about family. Now we're watching him kind of switch and realize that there's more to the world than just his family. And maybe his family's a little fucked up. But for her to go so far that direction was really, at least for me, is really cool to see. And so I think I grant her a little bit more, pass when I see those seasons. Now I go, yeah, it's really annoying that you're doing this, but I think I get it.
Yeah. So what you said about the show was she had a turning point, right?
Yeah.
She had that moment where she realized like what she needed to do, who she needed to become. And that, I think, is something that sets Game of Thrones apart from other shows, and what I would like tell people who I want to watch it is that the characters and their arcs are so like much more than other shows. Like there's so many turning points and so many like great arcs and things that people go through, and the way that the characters react to the events and what's going on is just so real. And it's going back to Jaime, like I didn't like his character for the first like 3 or 4 seasons, but that
threw a kid out of the tower.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that's which season that the scene in the bath was in, but that was like, it was literally just like a flip where it's just like I liked his character from then on. Yeah. Like when he explains to Brienne like why he killed the king, it's like, man, wow, like I totally understand you now. I understand why you the way you are, like why you do the things you've done, and like I'm on your side.
It's the duality of each character. Most characters have a good and bad. You don't really have the white knight. You don't really have the evil person. Like each person that you feel like you're supposed to hate, aside from maybe Joffrey, you end up feeling sorry for or bad for, or even Cersei. Like as hateful as she is, and as much as you want to hate her, you also think about it and you're like, nothing she's doing is outside of what she thinks is the best for her family. Yeah. Now, while it's wrong, like she's trying to protect her kids, and people do fucked up shit when they're trying to protect their kids. That's
the thing. She's more about the means than for her than the reasons. Like she has good reasons, but the means are a little fucked up.
Of course they are, and that's the thing is but she's paid the ultimate price, and that's where we're at, and that's going to be what's interesting to see going forward is how she responds that way, because really it's her own fault.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we're about to see with her and Jaime is, look, this is your fucking fault, crazy ass.
She pushes people away when she tries to protect them. But anyway, so the concert was awesome.
And if you haven't seen the show, then slap yourself and then
you
sit
shouldn't
down
have
and
been
watch
listening to this, but
you probably tuned out 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you haven't read the books, read the books. The first book, I will be honest, it takes a little while to get going. Like if you're not immediately interested, it may take a little while to like get through the first little bit, but it's worth it. Like they are great books. They're very detailed. you know, I understand people. Not everybody likes his writing style, but for me, it's written so well that I ended up not putting it down. Especially by the time I got to the 4th and 5th books, I just, you know, now I'm that weirdo who's waiting for a book, which I never thought I'd be that weirdo, but I'm that weirdo.
Yeah.
Waiting for a fucking book.
So
Gary with an Etsy steampunk strap on.
Gary's like, yeah, let's cut that second.
that's a real card?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, there's so many cards we haven't got to because I have all 6.
What is the steampunk strap on?
It's got a monocle.
It's got like gears and a monocle. The old one eye.
Yeah, it has one eye, so it has a
one eye
monocle.
to the optometrist.
It doesn't need more than a monocle.
A penis with glasses.
Yeah,
What
my
does that
dick
look
needs
like?
bifocals.
Sometimes it's nearsighted, sometimes it's farsighted.
Guess it just depends on the position.
So what else has us unreasonably angry today?
It's April Fool's.
It is
April Fool's can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I
April
had to see
1st.
one more Star Wars fucking meme.
The internet pranks have just gotten like stupid.
I think it's kind of funny, like the like billion-dollar companies doing weird little, you know, cheeky bullshit websites or press releases. And it's like, I understand you guys are trying, but your ideas are bad. Some of them are okay. Some of them are pretty bad.
Most of them are pretty bad.
Most of them are pretty bad because it's just like the ones that are the worst are the companies that are like, oh, I know everybody actually wants this. Let's release a press release that we're gonna make it, and be like, oh, April Fools, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what's funny though? You know who doesn't fucking touch that with a 10-foot pole?
What's fucking
Half-Life 3?
Yeah, Half-Life
Yeah.
3 and
They'd have a fucking ride on their hands.
Gaben.
Yeah. Well, I think it's stupid when people like confuse an April Fool's prank with just a bad joke. Like, there's a difference between
Yeah.
actually like pranking people, as in which is like getting them to believe that something is true, and then like saying, April Fool's, it's not true, and then just
There's
making
also-
a stupid joke.
There's also a difference with a prank and just assaulting someone.
Yeah.
Just pranking, bro. Just pranking.
Yeah.
Oh God. I went through a YouTube black hole one day of that. Just watching the crazy reaction or
Oh,
something
God.
gone wrong. Blah blah blah.
Fuck those guys.
Dude, have you seen the one where that asshole goes around and like he pretend like the prank is that if he the girl
That-
does something,
I
he
know.
gets to kiss him. and
Yes.
it's like what the
so,
fuck?
okay. I know who you're talking about. It's totally fucking scripted.
Of course it is.
It's 100% scripted. It's like fucking jerk off material for 12-year-olds or some bullshit. And it's disgusting.
Curious.
And
There's this website.
Who? What's his name? There's
so
another
many websites. Which one are you
There's
talking
another
about?
channel
I wanna
that I
make
was
sure to
watching
avoid that
though
one.
that he actually, one of the girls went on this other dude's channel and fucking interviewed on his channel, was like, yeah, I was going down for like this modeling gig, and he's like, yeah, okay, put on this hijab and then I'm gonna come up and kiss you.
Jesus
And he like
Christ.
pulls up the hijab and is like showing her ass and shit. I'm
Well,
like,
that's the thing is it went from I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like
it's a
some
fucking
stupid, like-
handshake or something.
Yeah, or
that.
like arm
I'm gonna-
wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you, or if you beat me at this handshake thing, or then I get to
And
kiss
the thing
you.
is, it goes from that to it's not a kiss. They immediately start making
Yes.
out. The mic is turned up so loud it's like,
yes,
and then he
That's
grabs him
disgusting.
by the ass and like lifts him up, and the girl's like wrapping their legs.
I
I'm
didn't.
like, what
I
the
didn't
fuck is
realize.
this?
I didn't realize that every girl on Venice Beach was just ready to get down, like
Yeah.
on the beach.
So I think
All this
like
time.
Yeah.
if you're ever wondering like what's a prank and what's going too far, there's a pretty clear line, and it's when you end the prank, like will they laugh at it? They might not right away, but maybe they'll eventually laugh with you. If they don't and they're mad at you, then it's not a fucking prank.
gray area there.
Well,
I mean, it depends on how
with
sensitive the
strangers,
person
like
is.
there's
It depends-
friends.
no, yeah, it
there's friends
depends on the
pranks and
person.
strangers pranks.
Yeah, I mean, if you think
Yeah.
about it, like, so we have a friend who we know doesn't like snakes a whole lot. So I put a rubber snake in his shower, and that didn't go over terribly. But then when we brought the snake outside and put it in the grass, he freaked the fuck out. He could have, if he was a sensitive guy, he could have got really pissed off and offended or whatever.
No.
But he's not that guy, so he's fine.
The best part was we put the snake in his suitcase.
Oh, I fucking forgot.
He flew all the way home.
Was that you or was that
Seriously?
It was me.
Oh my!
I put the fucking
He got
rubber snake.
home.
He got all the way home, and like a couple days later, he's like unpacking. He's like, "You son of a bitch!"
I didn't know that.
We have
See,
that.
but
and
that's
you
a
have guys-
fun prank.
Well, that's the thing is, but you could have people where you could do the old Vaseline on the doorknob.
Yeah.
Which is a silly, stupid, funny prank.
Yeah.
But then some people get really mad, and it's like, dude, like, I don't know. And maybe it's just because I grew up with a lot of brothers, so we were
Yeah.
always picking on each other and doing crazy stuff like that. But I think that kind of shit's funny, and I actually miss that a little bit. Like, I miss that, like, silly joking around, doing shitty stuff to each other.
Yeah.
As long as it's not, I mean, it's not like you took a shit on someone's pillow. I mean, that's.
I took
not a
all your
prank.
things out in the front yard and set them on fire. Get pranked, bro. Like, wow, that's just. I mean, that's just vandalism, I guess. Like,
yeah.
theft. I don't. Arson. What is that?
I put your credit card information on Craigslist. Get fucked,
Get
bro.
pranked, man. Have fun talking to the bank.
Have life turning your. How good? I'm fucking up my words. Good luck turning your life around, bro. Well, my favorite one's always the fake gun in the hood goes wrong.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen a couple where the guy like straight up got punched in the face. And so I'm like
As he
wondering,
should.
and I'm wondering, I'm like, is this was
I think
real,
those
right?
are.
I don't know.
Staged, right?
I think a lot of that shit is all staged.
You see the
and
one where the
made
guy
up.
like was on the beach though, and he like walked up to a guy who was like sitting down, and he said something. I think it was a word that sounded like
Yeah.
the N word,
Yeah.
Right.
the bad word, and the guy just get up and fucking
like
clocks
Tigger.
him, and yeah, and the guy clocks him,
cat.
and he goes down like it's not a. And they showed it like 2 or 3 times afterwards, and he's out.
Maybe the guy you paid to punch him got a little aggressive.
Yeah, it was literally like he ended up like apologizing to the guy. I was like, "That was a good punch, bro. That was a good punch." What the fuck? Though there was one prank that a few people got kind of mad at. Now you guys tell me if this is stupid prank or if this is okay prank.
All right.
Guy goes to like Venice Beach or Huntington or one of those, and he's sitting behind the showers. So you're like, the beach showers where it's like a wall
Yeah.
and the nozzles that come down.
Yeah.
Right.
And so these people are under there and they're washing their hair. And as they're washing their hair, he peeks up and he squirts
dude,
a
yeah,
little bit
I
of
saw this
shampoo.
one.
So the shampoo just never ends.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, I laughed my fucking ass
See, but
off.
that's funny.
It's and it's harmless. Like I mean, yeah,
There
it's
was one guy,
frustrating,
though,
but
or one girl, she was washing her hair. I'm not kidding, for like 6 minutes, and I was like, I started to feel bad. Look, there's got to be a certain. But at the same time, how do you not look around?
yeah, how do you not
Right.
turn around?
How do you
yeah.
not figure out there's something
Well,
fucking
and also
weird's going on?
like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of hair. Maybe if you have a lot of hair, you won't feel somebody spooging some shampoo on the top of your head. But I kind of feel like I would feel that.
Yeah. But this is going to be a complete sidetrack, but I got to tell the story. So when we were kids, my brother passed last year. When we were kids, we used to go to the YMCA, like the club pool or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I must have been 11 or 12, and so he's 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And we're there, and we hadn't spent a lot of time looking at like public gyms, public pools, public showers, those kind of things. It just wasn't something we had done a lot as kids. You just don't.
Right.
And one day we're out the pool, and it's an indoor pool. This is New Hampshire, so it's like 30 degrees outside. So this is what the kids do during the wintertime to
Brisk.
like, yeah. And so we're jumping off the high dive, and we're doing flips and stuff and playing and whatnot. And we're like, parents are like, okay, it's time to go. You guys need to go rinse off. So we go rinse off, and we're in the shower area. And it's one of those ones where you walk in down a little tiny hall, like really small, like 10 feet, turn left, go down 10 feet, turn left. It's like an open shower area. And so there's like 8 or 10 nozzles, and they all kind of face in towards the center of a room. And so I'm in we're on the far side, and I'm washing my hair, and my brother's to the left, and he's like playing in between two different ones because he's a kid and he's fucking around. And all of a sudden, I hear someone walk in, and you know, people come in and out,
Right.
You know, constantly. And I turn around, and it's just got to be 65, 7-year-old man, and his balls are out, just no shorts. And so
I mean, I'm not
look-
going to wear shorts at 65 or 70.
I look, and
Anywhere.
I think my exact reaction was, whoop, and I turn around, and I shut the water off, and I put my head down, and I walk out. And my brother's still, you know, sometimes you shower when you're facing the wall, and you're rubbing your hair, and I just hear him say, Eric. And then I hear him turn and go, ah! And I hear him turn the water off really quick. He's like, and I hear him take 2 steps, and you hear him go,
Yep.
and he slips and fucking falls on his back in the shower. And he doesn't even try to stand up. He rolls over and he crawls
out of the shower
like a fucking military
so
movie.
terrified. It's-
Because if he got up too high, it'd be at ball level.
And I swear to God, from that day forward, anytime we ever went, he was hyper vigilant of watching the door while I was doing anything.
yeah.
But yeah, that for some fucking reason that sent me down that memory lane. So I think that's about it for us today on the Unreasonably Angry podcast. It was nice having Jeff on with us. Hopefully you have that many more times going forward. Mm-hmm. And on the way out, we wanted to make a suggestion of music. I know Gary has one this week.
Yeah, Fleet Foxes, one of our favorite bands. They're a local band from Seattle. We love them. They're
Going to see him this summer.
we're going
Twice
to see
for
them.
you.
Yeah, I'm going to see them at a small venue in Seattle, and we're going to see them at the Paramount in September. And they've released the first single,
3rd of May.
3rd of May off of their album. You can catch it on YouTube, Spotify, however you want to catch it. But it is awesome. It's was it like 9 minutes?
Yeah.
A 9-minute single.
If you're a Fleet Foxes fan, it's right up your alley. If it's not, it's a good way to check them out.
Yeah.
But again,
check
for
it out.
Unreasonably Angry, this is Eric.
This is Gary.
This is Jeff.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Fuck off. Hey, this is Eric. Real quick before you go, don't forget to hit us up with any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, or topics at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com. Also hit us up on SoundCloud or Facebook. And until next time, stay angry, fuckers.